Action. Your notebook, your pen, your paper, your laptop. Go ahead and grab it and click the link below. Good evening, all. We are in place for the webinar. We have 4 minutes. If you have not Oh no. Okay. Make sure you can hear me. Okay. I feel like this isn't the best way to do this. Once you come in, please comment grants in the chat. I am just making sure everything is working correctly. I keep trying to see who's the second person in here, but I can't see. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Make sure you can see me correctly. I feel like my hair is lopsided. Whoever's in here, don't laugh at me. Okay. Welcome to the Ultimate Business Grant Funding Plan webinar. I host this webinar first so that I can take my people along with me on the journey of building the denial-proof grant portfolio so that our minority community entrepreneurs can start receiving that grant funding. There is a major gap in the minority community in receiving grant funding within the entrepreneurial within the entrepreneurial world. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am not going to wait for anyone because there will be a replay sent to everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you got the most recent email from me, we do have a workbook that we'll be working in, something that you can type in as we go so that you can follow along. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right, so first things first, let me just go ahead and put it in post. All right, the grant funding business plan. Now, getting right into it, this full cover screen is the screen you want to go ahead and create for your cover for your business plan. The things you want to add onto your cover photo for your business plan is the date, of course, your email, your phone number, who you are, your business, as well as your business slogan if you have one, okay? So you're gonna do that. And then next we're gonna go ahead and the page. Like I said, please get your pen and your paper. Please get your laptop, whatever you're going to use to take notes. And if you did receive my email when it came to the workbook, you can go ahead and open that as well, as that is a follow along copy of this presentation, and it will allow you to take notes while we go ahead and go through this, okay? So I'm going to give you guys some time. And I'm just going to go over the agenda of what we'll be talking about tonight. I'm going to try to keep this 1 hour long because it's 8 p.m. and I know everyone's tired from the day, but I really want to incentivize these things that are very, very important for grant funding. Like I said, this is really important for getting your business out there to grant funders. In the minority community, it is really known that minority businesses go toward loans before they go toward grants. So my goal, my mission is to steer my minority community into another direction, into debt-free funding. So without further ado, we're going to go over the agenda. We're going to go over the executive summary first, the mission and vision statements, your foundation of your why. If you follow me on Instagram, that's one of the main things I've been talking about. Sharing your why, sharing your story within your business to get the attention of grant funders, your problem and your solution and how you're going to solve the problem of your industry, your target audience, your market research, your marketing strategy, as well as your operations and financial plan, and the use of funds. How are you going to use your grant funding, your impact statement, and of course, your 60-second elevator pitch, grant pitch video, okay? The pink tags are a signification that these are the most important documents for grant funding, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. A few people in here. If you can hear me, please go ahead and comment grants. If you've opened up your workbook, comment grants. Make sure you are on the page with me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and open up the workbook as well so that you guys can, so I can also see what you're seeing. Give me just a second here. How is everybody doing? How was your day? How is business? Every day is different when it comes to being a business owner. Trust me, I understand. Some days are better than others. Isis, I am so proud of you, girl. I am loving the content. I am so happy for you all. The bonnets did amazing, are continuing to do amazing. So happy for you guys. Good evening. We have a lot of people coming in. I'm so excited. I'm not going to lie, y'all. This is one of my first webinars. Well, this is my second webinar. So I didn't think a lot of people were going to come in, but I'm super excited to share my knowledge with you all. Like I was saying, I have the agenda up right now so that you guys can see how we're going to go about this. If you have not opened up your workbook yet, please do so you guys can follow along with me. All right, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Please do not hesitate to ask questions. Do not hesitate to stop me if you have any comments, concerns. So without further ado, welcome. I am so excited that you're here and taking this powerful step towards securing your grant funding for your business. Whether you're just getting started or ready to scale, this workbook was created to help you walk away with a strategic, purpose-driven, and funder-ready business plan. As a grant specialist, as a grant specialist, business strategist, and entrepreneur, I've helped lots of business owners get funding. I've gotten funding for my business, and now it's time for me to start teaching. Like, I feel like this is the next step for me. So without further ado, let's get started. That first page on your workbook is going to highlight your executive summary, okay? So I'm going to go. Your executive summary is the first thing your funders are going to see within your business plan. So you want to make this impactful. When I say impactful, every word, every sentence needs to be purpose-driven, powerful information, okay? Your mission statement, your vision statement, an overview of what your business does, your funding needs, and what you'll use the funds for, and your shorts, okay? This is very important so that you can really catch the eye of your funders before you get started, okay? Just like we know in today's world, people's attention spans are very, very short. So you want to grab the attention of your funders as soon as they start reading that business plan or that grant pitch, okay? So you should be on page 1 of your workbook, where you'll be able to add in your business name, your location, years in operation, what you do, who you serve, and why you're positioned for funding. Because we are definitely going to get you in the right position to get that grant funding for your business. All right. In today's world, in 2025, especially in Palm Beach, if you're here in Palm Beach, it's just getting harder. Okay. Everything's expensive. Everything costs. And we don't want to spend our own personal income on building our businesses because they're for you to scale our business. So I'm going to be, as you go throughout, you'll see the pink tags will show you that this is the layout of how your mission, vision, all of those things should go. The very next slide will inform you of how I've put together my business plan so that you can have a good example of how a good business plan should be put together. I thought it would be great if I could just try to inform you of Generational Wealth Foundation's mission and how we posture ourselves within the economy, all while teaching you how to create a business plan. So I'm using my business as an example tonight. I hope that's okay. I'm going to tell you my mission. Our mission here at Generational Wealth Foundation is to empower purpose-driven entrepreneurs with the tools, knowledge, and strategies to secure debt-free funding, build sustainable businesses, and establish a generational wealth foundation for your families, regardless of your background, your location, and your starting point. All right. The things we specialize in here at Generational Wealth Foundation is creating denial-proof business plans for you, grant portfolio creations for you. We host live webinars, video trainings, as well as mentorships and templates. I do host one-on-one consultations for grant readiness and growth strategy for your business. I help you build grant-focused, plans for the things you want to do within your business, and so on and so forth. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, so let's get into it. Your problem and your solution. This is so important because if you are in an industry that is a little saturated and you don't know where you fit in, this is the perfect place to start when it comes to figuring out how you're set apart, right? So you should always be trying to figure out, okay, what is the problem in my specific industry? Doing your market research, seeing where the problem lies. How can you fix the issue within your industry? Clearly defining the problem your business solves in the world or in the community. What gap are you filling? Who is affected by this problem? And why is the solution urgent? That is the most important question when it comes to grant funding because grantors want to know that you're automatically going to solve a problem within the economy or within your community when you get those grant funds. Okay. And then when it comes to your solution, you want to describe your business model. This is where your business will shine. What exactly do you sell or what service do you offer? What makes your solution unique or innovative? And who do you serve? That is most important. Who are you serving? The people are the most important thing in this aspect. And how do you serve them? Okay. All right. I'm not going to go through much of this for our problem here at Generational Wealth Foundation. Within our industry, there's lack of awareness, education, and strategic guidance on how to build a fundable business portfolio and write a competitive grant application within our minority communities. It is very, very sad that our communities are we're not as knowledgeable as other cultures when it comes to debt-free funding, where they push the loans, they push the debt into our faces, but they don't show us how to build wealth, how to build that generational wealth. Okay. So that's what my goal and my mission is to do. All right. And you always want to source your information that you're putting in. If you're putting in statistics or you're putting in facts, you want to go ahead and source those items to make sure funders know that this isn't just, oh, I'm saying this off the top of my head. You know, you want to tell them this is where I got this information from. All right. And then your solution. Here is just a little example of how you can show off your products and your services for your business. Okay. Next, we're going to go into the target audience. I hope you guys are following along. In the workbook here, you will be on page 8. Yes, page 8 when it comes to the target audience, demographic, and the psychographic. Who here knows what a psychographic is? I actually just learned this recently, okay? A psychographic is very important. As much as we do not hear this word, it is very important. A psychographic is when a specific group of people has specific values, their culture, their day-to-day lifestyle. This matters when it comes to you choosing what your niche is or who you're going to serve within your business, right? So within your target audience and your demographic, you want to define your ideal customer, the demographic, their age, income, and location, their psychographic, their values, their habits, their needs, and how you reach and connect with them. Okay. So let's go ahead and go into that. I hope everyone has their workbook open, following along. So this is just an example of Generational Wealth Foundation demographic. Our age range is 25 to 45 years old, as these are the people who are more interested in gaining funding for a business that they're trying to grow. If you're less than 25, you may not be trying to build a business. You may be trying to figure out what life is all about. If you're a little older than 45, you might have made it already. You might have a business that is standing strong. You might be getting ready to retire. So that's why we chose the range of 25 to 45 years old. Okay. So you want to go ahead and lay out the demographics, your psychographics, okay? Making sure you know all of the aspects of your customer. Within Generational Wealth Foundation, our primary audience is purpose-driven, underdeserved entrepreneurs. These are early stage or growing entrepreneurs who are motivated by more than profit. They are building businesses to change their lives, their communities, and create generational wealth. And that is why we are called Generational Wealth Foundation. Okay, so next we're gonna roll into market analysis. I'm not playing no games tonight, y'all. Okay, I gave y'all this workbook, so I am going through this and I am showing you how your business plan is set up. I will stop every once in a while so that you can take notes. But I really want you guys to really hone in and make sure you are research for your business, right? Because this is an experience. This isn't just, oh, any document. This is you learning more about your business, more about your passion. Because I really hope y'all not running a business and it's like you're not doing your passion. I tell everyone that I meet every day, if you want to start a business, don't start your business doing something you don't love to do. Because when I tell you, there will be days where you want to give up. Okay. Just yesterday, I had that day where I was like, I don't think I'm cut out for this. I might as well just give up. But it's like, I've come this far. Why would I give up now? I've made this much impact. What would I look like giving up now? So that's why I stress to you guys, building out your business plan, especially for grant funding, is not just putting words on paper. It is literally experimenting with yourself and like, okay, what do I want out of this life? What do I want out of this business? How do I want my children to benefit from this 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you know? So yeah, let me stop ranting because I can go all night. But yeah, so let's get into the market analysis. This is very important, okay? And this is also my favorite part. Y'all know I love me some marketing. I think every business owner has their favorite part to their business. Marketing is definitely my favorite part because I love to be creative with my marketing and making sure my potential customers and my loyal clients are always entertained, right? So first you're going to start with your market research. And this is something that you want to consistently do within your business. I would say every 3 to 6 months, do have a full-on market research day within your business where you deep dive into your industry and you're looking into, looking into what your target audience is into at that moment in that time, right? So you want to include an overview of your industry, trends that support your business, and your competitor analysis. What sets you apart from the competitors, right? I've created a competitor analysis chart for you within your workbook so that you can just fill it in and compare and contrast. How is your competitor trending right now? And how can you become better? We're always looking for ways to level up and become better within our businesses, okay? Show that you've done your homework. This is very important. Your funders want to know that you know your business like the back of your hand, okay? So, who knows how much money is currently in your industry? Have y'all been doing your market research? I want to know. Y'all know how much money is going through your industry right now? Because when I tell you grant funding is a booming industry, when I tell you, y'all think it ain't enough money out here. It is so much debt-free funding out here. It's not even funny. Okay. What's the around like the money range for you, Isis? Because I know hair care is also booming. Natural hair care, especially since we've been seeing how like you see women getting cancer from perming their hair now. Like all of these like products that we used to use back in the day are now being exposed. So natural hair care is on the rise. So I know y'all industry is booming. I love to see it. What? Almost 12 billion? That is insane. Oh my gosh. Yes, y'all are on the road to greatness. Y'all are already on that road. Like, so proud. So proud. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so we looked over the market research. We all should know what market research is, right? Now we're going to get into the market strategy. Everything needs strategy. Everything needs organization. Everything. When I tell you, especially as a business owner, we may get a little sidetracked sometimes, just come out with ideas like, all right, I'm doing this. But we have got to get in the habits of strategizing beforehand. Because if we don't, our ideas can be great in our heads, but if we don't put it on paper correctly, it's not going to come into fruition the way God has ordained it to. Okay? And I think everyone in here believes in the Lord Jesus Christ. Y'all know God has ordained us to do what we have been called to do, and we have to execute it the way He wants us to. So that calls for prayer, that calls for fasting, that calls for strategy, guys. We have to strategize. Branding, marketing, community, everything, it all comes hand in hand, right? It all comes hand in hand. So let me go page. What page are y'all on now in the workbook? On page 11, I think. The competitor analysis. Oh my gosh, my big old Kool-Aid smile. I did not know we were on this page yet. All right, so this is just a little brief overview of our market research here at Generational Wealth Foundation and how it's laid out. I'm not going to go too much into it. It's you guys how simple but still personality coming through is so important to keep your funders, your grantors interested, keep their attention on you and things of that nature, okay? Here's the competitor analysis for Generational Wealth Foundation. I'm not going to go through this, but you see how this is set up. You also see a blank version of this in your workbook. All right, this is our marketing strategy. And then we're moving on to our operations plan. Really important, I will say. The operations plan is, I've been saying every page is important because it is. All of it is important. The operations plan is extremely important for this reason. Every role in your organization / business should have a specific department, if I can say it that way, right? So when it comes to the administrative role, right, that's a department. When it comes to the grant writing role, that's a department. When it comes to your financials role, that's a department. So yes, us as business owners, we probably run our businesses by ourselves and we're running 20 different departments, right? But we have to be strategic in how we build out those departments, how we build out those systems so that they can run as seamlessly as possible. And then once you've created all those systems, you go back to each and every one of those departments, consistently making them better, right? And that's what we're doing here with our business plan. We might have written a business plan before, maybe 2 or 3 times, but we can always be better. And today we're doing that because we need this grant funding. Okay, we're starting from the foundation. Your business plan is your foundation for your business to grow, to scale, to get that money. Okay. All right, so the operations plan. Show how each position contributes to your business and or your mission, okay? For example, your outreach coordinator is responsible for managing weekly community engagement campaigns and grant applicant onboarding. So like I said, every role has its job. Okay. So like I said, I think you guys on page 11. Now the operations plan. I'm going to up so that you guys can see what the operations plan entails. Oops. I am going too far. Hold on. I'm not sure if I can open this like this. Okay. So I am sharing a new tab for you guys. Operations plan is going to have your overview. Okay. Despite the growing number of entrepreneurs in underserved communities, particularly Black, Brown, and minority-owned businesses, access to capital remains one of the most significant barriers to growth, survival, and sustainability. Many of these founders are forced to rely on high-interest loans, credit cards, or personal savings due to the lack of access to affordable, non-debt-based funding such as grants. That is our that is our overview for Generational Wealth Foundation and why we operate, why we are bringing more knowledge to the debt-free funding world. Okay. Our agency launched May 8th, 2023. We have been in business for 2 years, y'all. Like, this is a little toddler baby I'm building here. Okay. My main business, 561 Customs, we just celebrated 7 years, 5 years, I think 7 years. So this is my toddler baby. Thank you. Right. So, and then you want to put in your team members, your role and responsibilities. Y'all see all these roles that I have in my business. It's absolutely insane. I'm getting ready to hire my husband on as my second employee. He's going to be working at Generational Wealth Foundation with me soon. So clientele gets to where it wants to be. So I'm going to go back over here. So you can see on page 11, you have a full competitor analysis. So you'll have your competitor in the first column, the strengths of your competitor, the weaknesses of your competitor, and the advantage that you have against your competitor. Okay. I just wanted to show you guys that so that you could get a better understanding of what the operations plan should look like. The next page. Oops. Now, the financial plan, I will say, is probably the most extensive part of your business plan for the simple fact that funders want to know all about your income and how you plan to make the money back and plus more. Okay? Because you can ask for money all day, give it to you. But if you're not making more money on top of that and you just keep asking for money, then what the heck is the point? You know what I'm saying? So funders want to know all about that financial plan. What is your plan and how you're going to triple and quadruple the money that we're going to give you? So the very first thing you want to add to your financial plan is the revenue streams that you have within your business. What streams of revenue do you offer, right? So for Generational Wealth Foundation, our streams of revenue is our one-on-one consultations, our done for you grants, our what is it called? The business portfolio creations, where our clients pay us to create full-on grant portfolios for them on their behalf. And then we also apply for grants for them. And some of my clients are on retainers where I do that for them every single month. So not only am I creating a full grant portfolio for you, I'm going to consistently apply for grants for you until and even after you win grants for your business. All right. So the next thing you want to add in is your 3 to 5 year financial projection, right? So just like when you're applying for a business loan and they want to see how you're going to make that money back and how you're going to exceed how much you borrow, grants are the same way. They want to know how much money you plan to make within the next few years. And then also add in the breakdown of the money that they're going to give you. It's down to the dollar. Okay, down to the dollar. They want to know where that money's going. They want you to track your expenses and your income. And of course, you can just pull your profit and loss statement and add that into your grant portfolio. And then include a sustainability plan, right? When you are in the down season within your business, how are you sustaining your business? How is your business consistently making money? Do you have a plan B for your business? They always include an impact ROI, your return on investment. Are you making your money back once you invest in your business? Set a realistic administration cap. Now, this is important because just like when you get a credit card and they tell you not to max out that credit card, only use about 30% of that credit card. Don't max out that credit card because they ain't going to give you no more money if you do that. You got to make sure you are, yes, budgeting that grant down to the dollar, but making sure you put a little bit of that on the side just for a rainy day, right? Because if they come back, they call you like, you spent all that grant money, and you're like, yeah, like, no, we gotta save for the rainy days as well, okay? Plan for the unexpected costs because there's always something. Life is always lifing. And then update your financial plan monthly or quarterly. I would say quarterly because as a business owner who has 20 million roles, who has time to update monthly? So give yourself grace. If you're not able to do it every month, make sure you're doing it at least every 3 months, okay? All right, so you page 12 of your workbook. And this is a full financial planning overview chart. You have one of these in your workbook that is completely blank so that you can just plug in and, see where you are within your financial planning and build out a bigger one so that you know exactly what's going on throughout your entire business, okay? Now, we have a full-on grant budget breakdown. I told you I was not coming to play tonight, okay? I was very strategic about making sure y'all know how to build out these strategic business plans in order to receive grant funding for your business, okay? You got to come to webinar number 2 so that I can teach you how to build out your full grant pitch to make sure that video is on point too. But to get started, we are starting with this business plan. We're building our foundation on a solid ground so that we can build, really strategically build, okay? So your grant budget breakdown is very important. You want to know exactly where every dollar is going when it comes to getting that grant. This office that I'm sitting in right now, we got a $5,000 grant to build out this office, okay? And we got that grant in 2023. And when we were building out the office, we had to pull every single receipt and put it in a file so that they could see where every dollar was going, okay? And if we was off by 1 cent, they wasn't going to give us that 1 cent. So we had to pull every single receipt to make sure that we had reached that cap of $5,000 so we can get the full grant check for building out this office for our business. All right. And there is a current $5,000 grant for entrepreneurs who have a solid business plan. I'm going to show you guys at the end where that grant is located. I will also be informing you that I will be offering the service. I'll be taking 3 clients where I will create a full business plan for you, and I will be able to apply for the grant for you. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. We are going over the grant budget breakdown. I hope you have your workbook with you. Let me see if I can add the workbook to this chat. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and add the workbook to this chat so that if you do not have it, you're... Hold on a second. All right. Oh, no, that's not how I do it. There we go. All right, so I just went ahead and put the workbook in the chat. If you don't have it, you can go ahead and open it up. We are on page, what page are we on, guys? Page 11, competitor analysis. Your competitor, the strengths of your competitor, the weaknesses of your competitor, and the advantages. Okay, we are moving on. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. We are on the grant budget breakdown. Okay. All right. So then moving forward, we're going into the impact statement. All right. The impact statement is exactly that. How are you impacting your economy? How are you impacting your community? Right? Like I said before, if you are not postured with passion and giving your best every single day, then you got to do what you got to do. Come on now. Give it 100%. If we are not giving our businesses 100%, then what are we doing? What are we doing? If we are not giving God our all when it comes to literally being the best version of ourselves every day within our business, that's one thing I will say. As an entrepreneur, it will show you your faults, it will show you your flaws, and it will show you that you can either be better or give up. You only got two options. You gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? So within this impact statement, we really want to be strategic, right? Lead with the bigger picture. Why does your business matter? Why is your business important to the economy, to the community? Okay. Name your target community. We want to make sure we're really honing in to our niche. Who are we here to serve? You can say all you want that you're here to serve everyone, but I will be the first to tell you, you are not serving everyone. Everyone is not your customer. Everyone is not your client. So you really want to be strategic in figuring out who your target audience is. Tie the impact back to your mission, making sure you are always staying in alignment with what you originally said you were going to do and how you were going to do it. It's okay to change up, the plan, the goal, and making sure that you are constantly elevating, but always align yourself with why you originally said you were going to do what you said you were going to do. Right? Be measurable. Quantify your outcomes wherever possible. The number of people served, trained, funded, employed, educated. Because one thing about it is these funders, if you ask for this grant funding again, they want to know what you did with that money and how you were able to quadruple it the last time. So that if in the event they want to give you more, you can tell them, okay, I did this with that money and now I can quadruple it and I can make more money from it. Okay. Describe your short-term and long-term results. What happened when you got that money short-term? And then what happened long-term? All right. Use real-world language. Be real. Don't be ChatGPT all day. Make sure you're being real. Get down and raw with the people. And that I will teach more within our grant pitch video. And then show community ripple effect. Demonstrate how your work impacts more than just your direct sales. How are you impacting the community? Girl, I love ChatGPT too. It definitely helps. But we can't forget that we are all human and we have to level with the people. You know what I'm saying? She said, I love ChatGPT. Me too, girl. Me too. All right. So here's a quick impact statement for Generational Wealth Foundation. Wealth. Our mission goes beyond simply educating entrepreneurs. Okay. I don't want to just tell you what to do and then go about my business. I'm going to be right here with you through it all. Okay. It's about closing the equity gap in funding and building generational wealth within our communities that have historically been left behind over generations to generations to generations. They continue to try to leave us out. But honey, we is not going out without a fight. We will never, ever. Through our programs, we equip purpose-driven individuals, particularly Black, Brown, and underdeserved entrepreneurs. So we are here for you guys. With the tools, strategies, and funding readiness they need to build sustainable businesses, create jobs, and strengthen local economies. If you're here in Palm Beach, you already know what's going on here in Palm Beach. It is like they are trying to turn this place into something it's never been. So we have to be the ones to keep it alive. We have to be the ones to continue to grow with it, right? We don't want it to stay the same. No, that's not what we want. But we do want to evolve and grow with the world that is becoming. Okay? So we create an impact. Always go back to your impact. Now, my favorite part, y'all know I love creating content. Y'all know I love to talk to the camera. It is my God-given gift, I feel. I'm like, God literally was like, okay, here's the phone, here's the mic, do you. So my favorite part is the elevator pitch, okay? It is great to have a business plan. It is great to have all your documentation, your financial plan, your projected plan, all the things. It's great. But if your funder can't see your face, if your funder can't grab hold of your personality, your realness, do they really know your business? Right? And that's why I stress having an elevator pitch so much. That's why I stress getting in front of the camera so much. Because not only does your consumer trust you more, but your funder trusts you more. When you get in front of a camera and you tell those people how passionate you are about your business, how passionate you are about helping people, they will throw money at you. And I'm not kidding. It's happened to me. Okay? When I tell you an elevator pitch is it's the golden key to getting grant funding. Making sure you have a great video to show your funders. Okay? So we use the 20-20-20 rule. 20 seconds of who you serve and the problem, 20 seconds of the solution and the result, and 20 seconds of your mission and your call to action. So every 20 seconds needs to have an attention grabber, an information pot of gold. Okay, you want to be able to grab these people's attention and keep their attention throughout the entire 60 seconds of the video. How many of y'all get on Instagram and you see a minute and 10 second long video and you scroll right past it because you like, that video ain't got no value. That video ain't got nothing, because people's attention spans are very short. And that's why you have to grab their attention within the first 20 seconds and then keep their attention within each 20 seconds to make sure they watch till the end. That's why we use the 20-20 rule, okay? Within your elevator pitch, you want to start with who you help, clearly state the problem you solve, present your solution briefly but boldly, okay? Use numbers or outcomes, your credibility. Share your mission, your vision clearly. Share your story. Share why you started. Share the sad parts. Share the good parts. Share the parts that Sometimes you just don't want to share because that is what really hits people in their heart. Okay. Making sure that people feel you. All right. End with a compelling call or call or vision. So let's say you get on video and you selling a product, right? And at the end of the video, you do a quick call to action, be like, all right, go ahead, click the link in bio and purchase this right now before it runs out. That's a call to action. You want to do something like that for your funders. And I'm going to show you a quick little script that you can use for your elevator pitch. Okay, like I said, keep it under 60 seconds. Speak with confidence and conviction. Make sure you are not just reading off a piece of paper and just like, not really into it. Confidence. Sit tall. Speak directly to the camera. Smile with your teeth as you speak. Okay? And you guys know I do meet in person for elevator pitch scripts and filming. That's one of my favorite things to do. Meeting you in person, helping you create an elevator pitch. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick little an elevator pitch for Generational Wealth Foundation. Okay. Y'all don't laugh at me. All right. So we're going to sit tall. We're going to look at the camera. Right. Hi, I'm Gabrielle from, sorry, hold on. Let me get it right. Hello, I'm Gabrielle, founder of Generational Wealth Foundation, where we help purpose-driven entrepreneurs, especially those from underrepresented communities, secure debt-free funding and build sustainable businesses that create long-term generational wealth. Okay, we do this by providing strategic education, grant readiness tools, and hands-on support through webinars, one-on-one consulting, and community-based events. Right now, I am a one-woman agency, for real. Like, to be completely honest with you. Caleb, you're distracting me. Thank you. Successfully helping early stage founders go from overwhelmed to funded by guiding them through step-by-step business planning, grant applications, and funding strategies. With the right investment, we can scale this model to reach thousands, increase capital, access for minority-owned businesses, and spark economic transformation in the communities that need it most. This is more than just a business. It's a movement to close the wealth gap, one funded entrepreneur at a time. You see how I use my hands to express how I'm feeling about this? You see how I'm changing my facial expressions to really express how I feel about this? Really show the people how passionate you are about your passion. Really show them. Because they're not with you in your business on the day-to-day, right? They don't know how passionate you are about your business until you tell them. You really, really, really got to be the best version of yourself, not just completing your orders or creating your product, but be the best version of yourself in every aspect. Creating that video, even if it feels cringe. I'm telling you, I've gotten grant funding by getting in front of the camera and telling these people how passionate I am about branding out businesses, by telling these people how passionate I am about helping entrepreneurs get grants. Okay? You got to step out of your comfort zone and do what God told you to do. I'm gonna leave. So with that being said, thank you all for joining this class. You made me so happy. I was like, the imposter syndrome was definitely getting to me earlier because I was like, what if no one shows up? What if But I'm so happy, you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me tonight. I truly greatly appreciate it. And I really, in all honesty, am so passionate about this. I am passionate about helping my fellow entrepreneurs acquire grant funding. I myself was literally last year in my mother-in-law and father-in-law's guest bedroom, printing t-shirts and doing the best I could. And now I'm sitting in my beautiful business studio. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all for coming. I will inform you that I am taking clients right now. I do done for you business plan creations. All right. If you feel like what your business has going on is just a lot and you don't have the time to really hone in and do what you need to do when it comes to your business plan, I will create a business plan for you. We'll have a discovery call where I'll have that one-on-one with you to help you figure out what your true passion is and how you want to put it on paper, right? And then I'll be creating that business plan for you so you can go ahead and get that jump start on applying for grants for your business to acquire grant funding. And then I also have the business plan and grant application bundle where I create the full plan for you and I consistently apply for grants for you. Okay, so y'all know my number, y'all know my email. Okay, hit me up. Let me know what you need for your business. I will not be going anywhere. My next webinar will be in 2 weeks. I'm trying to get these webinars going every 2 weeks so that we can consistently build on a great solid foundation. Okay. So this first webinar was all about business planning for grant funders. The next webinar will be all about creating that full-on grant pitch video. Okay. And I might have a few of y'all get on here and do a little snippet for me so we can help each other become the best version of ourselves. Okay. That is the ultimate goal. So I appreciate you all for joining. Please don't hesitate to tag me at generational.wealth.foundation. It's a long, but tag me. Let me know how the webinar was. Please send out your feedback. Go ahead and fill out those workbooks. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.